In the seaside town of Brighton, two families are preparing to take part in an educational experience. Our first family, single mum Nikki, James and Lucy, and 13-year-old theatrical Jodie, who is easily distracted. On the other side of town, our second family. Single mum Tracy, Temi and Tariq, and 12-year-old Aiyshah, who's top of the class. Both families have one thing in common. They haven't a clue what their Key Stage 3 children do at school.
Have you got logo, have you got slogan, have you got alliteration, have you got all of those language techniques in there as well? Okay, you don't have to have every one of them, but you get started on it, you show me the techniques you've got on there already, and then I'll come down and I'll talk to you about how you do it. Okay? So you got about 15 minutes and I'll get some feedback. Okay?
Did you think she was nervous just then? I wonder if that's the kind of task she finds more challenging, an open-ended task.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Well, if you've got a task like 4 + 2 = 6, there's only one answer. If you know it's 6, you can be certain you've got the right answer. If it's a question like, is this logo a good logo? There isn't a right answer to that. It's about judgments, and that might challenge her a little bit more.
And then the next day they did a test to see if they jumped this 3-litre bubble, would they beat their maximum amount of time that they're supposed to take. And we all drink it before we take the run, and then as we're running, we don't get really tired halfway through.
It's very difficult for her to put a huge piece together to make a smaller piece, and to bring it to an end, and
to make decisions about it.
Yes, yes.
She'll pull lots of material together, but what do I leave out?
Yeah, what do I need, and how do I put it, and where do I put it, and sort of it's all a bit like,
Those are the kinds of personal judgments that are challenging, perhaps for somebody like Aiyshah.
For the children, it's time for a break. For the parents, it's time for a swap as Nikki joins Adam in the classroom. For theatrical Jodie, there's no escaping the German class.
Nummer 7. Ich sammle Bleistifte. Bleistifte. Ich sammle Kulis für meine Klassen. Ich sammle Kulis.
Coolies.
Ja. Ich habe eine große Sammlung von Kulis für meine Klassen. Hier. Okay.
Boring. George.
Schlage eure Buch auf Seite.
You seem a little bit tight-lipped at this point.
It's just unnecessary, isn't it? It's just being a bit...
Do you think she's acting up?
Yeah.
Ungefähr 100, ich habe ungefähr 100 CDs, ungefähr. Not too sure. About.
She seems to me to be sort of slightly irritated by the lesson.
67. Okay.
Yeah, but I can't understand why.
Well, I wonder what she's feeling right now.
Just looking for a reason to not do what she's meant to be doing, isn't she? She's just looking for a distraction the whole time.
Yeah.
Just looking for a reason to not pay attention to what the teacher's saying. So why would she be doing that, though?
She likes a bit of action, and she just, when it's boring, she feels that she's bored.
Yeah. You've got to
If
start
it's as simple as
fiddling
that,
and,
then...
it's fiddling, look, and slouching and...
I'm seeing somebody who's being distracting, so
yeah.
Maybe she wants some attention from the class.
Yawning.
Yeah. But what she's needing is something to occupy her. What she's needing is something to really interest her, and she doesn't think it's German.
Right. Okay.
And
so it's the whole subject that you think.
Well, it's this subject being taught this way in this class at this time.
Right.
Oh, sorry, I need my glasses. Can't see a blasted thing.
Do you want to sit near the front?
No, thank you.
But you need to be able to see. Okay, 5B. Look at the thing. All you're answering 5B.
Oh yeah, I know.
Jodie, you don't need it. Here's the title here.
Oh, you're confusing me.
That's the title.
Yeah.
That's the title, and we're answering those. Seeing if we can do those now.
Yeah.
For what we've learned.
I can't speak German though.
Sorry?
I think she's being rude.
She's being a bit cheeky, isn't she?
Rude.
But he contained that quite well and didn't respond
Yeah,
to
he
the
did.
to the cheekiness.
Yeah, I'm doing it great.
Actually carry on. No, not carry on with your conversation. That means you actually carry on with this. Actually trying. No, you're not. You're talking about other
Jodie got
stuff.
capsized in the kayak.
Funnily enough, I'm not actually interested now. What I am interested in you doing is seeing if you can actually follow the text, see if you've been paying attention during this lesson.
Trying to help her.
I know, that's fine, but then you start talking about other things. I'm happy for you to help her, that's good.
She brought up the subject of kayaks.
She taught me a fish bit.
See, look. Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay, we're working now. Working.
Do you want to try? Here goes.
Yeah.
Right, where are we up to?
Number 4.
Okay, well let's carry on then. Number 4, you've got 3. Plüschtiere. Remember I talked about plüschtiere like teddy bears, they're sort of...
Oh, it's her?
Can you put your phone away, please?
Girly things, yeah?
Can you put your phone away, please? Can you put your phone away? Can you put your phone away? Well, just do it.
So, do you have teddy bears?
Yeah.
Right. She's working.
Working.
Do you think the teacher managed that well?
Yeah, I think I'd have been a lot harder on him.
I think he managed that very well.
I do. I think he kept really calm, and I'd have probably been a bit more angry.
He's actually sort of engaging with her
Yeah.
on the level where they're talking. You know,
Yeah.
it's a bit of fun, let's have fun,
Yeah.
sir. But at the same time, bringing it back to the subject. He's got, as far as I can see, the whole class on task, actually including Georgina and Jodie, although they're working together, mostly people are working individually. But he's got, as far as I can see, the whole class on task. And I think that's an achievement in modern languages. Okay, so what needs do you think she did get met?
I think maybe she did finally do the task that she was asked to do. As far as Jodie's own needs, I think maybe she succeeded in entertaining the people she wanted to entertain, including herself.
So really her social needs were met,
Yes.
but not really her learning needs. Her priority is her agenda, and her agenda at the moment doesn't have German written on it very high up, I don't think.
No.
It probably comes somewhere below cleaning the shoes and remembering to, put the cat out, which is not high enough.
No.
We
it's
want
not
it
high
to be
enough.
higher, but,
Well,
but
that's
the
it.
trouble
That's
is,
what
it's not what we want, it's what Jodie wants. Not because Jodie should have her way all the time, but because ultimately Jodie's the one that's got to deliver.
Jodie is a student who can get disheartened quickly and who needs quite a lot of attention, quite a lot of guidance. Provided all the conditions are right for her, she really does perform well. The theatrical side to her can occasionally sort of hinder her progress, in that she will make a big song and dance out of things and make a show of not understanding things. But when she does actually want to perform, she can be absolutely superb.
I think this should be an English class.
And this should be a good lesson because Jodie likes English very much.
Does she?
Now your main course is going to be the article from the Guardian newspaper, and we're going to start off by reading this, and then you're going to analyse it and look at it closely.
So he's introduced this task as something that's relevant to their GCSEs and SATs.
Fact or an opinion? Okay, Jodie, why don't you say obviously?
Well, tomorrow is Friday,
Right,
so
okay.
it's a fact. It's a true statement.
It's a true statement.
She's putting her hand up.
Completely different, isn't it?
Yeah. See, she likes this subject.
Yeah.
Is the crazy frog is annoying a true statement?
No, it's a personal thought. Some people think, oh yeah, it's amazing, and I must have it. And then there's other people going, what the hell is going on here? It's awful.
Okay, so even though the majority of the people might find the crazy frog annoying, you still can't say that's a fact.
Now, you see, this is the sort of teacher who will say, I like kids like Jodie because they speak up and contribute ideas.
She's, yeah.
The ones that I can't stand teaching are the ones who just sit there quietly because I can't get anything out of them.
And
so
she's
So the social context of the learning is different here, and she's much more engaged with it.
And she's sort of talking to everybody as well as just the teacher.
Well, she's had her 60 seconds of fame in the class. She's had a chance to put her point of view, speak up, have that attention, and it's more satisfying for her.
The world does not revolve around you, Joe.
You rude man. You rude man. Stubborn manner. How dare he speak to me like that?
Did he just say she had a stuff?
Yes, but she shouldn't have responded like that. She should have just...
Well, I don't think the teacher minded very much.
No.
I think it was seen as a bit of banter. And the teacher seems to have a very good relationship with the children in the class. And with Jodie.
No, wait, so...
Yeah, she's still writing.
Yeah, she seems sort of to be on top of something.
Even though she's talking, she's still writing. She's still like, you know...
What's your impressions at this stage?
I think I'm really happy with that lesson. I feel quite positive about... she was on task, you know, 95% of the time. She seemed quite focused with her partner and was happy to work.
The person who can best tell us what's going on is Jodie herself. But it's how we help her think about her education that's crucial. What you've got to look for is Jodie understanding that she has a choice. And the choices that she's making at the moment aren't necessarily the ones that are best in her long-term interests, even if they're meeting her short-term needs. So once Jodie decides that, yes, she recognises how valuable it will be to achieve highly in GCSEs and the value of each subject for that reason, and see that in the greater scheme of things for herself as she becomes an adult and enters the world of work, I think you'll just see her behaviour change.
Right.
But there may be some things the school can do too. But I don't know what at this moment in time. I'd need to know what the school's perspective was.
Right.
I don't know if that helps.
It does, thank you.
But Jodie's got the answers. If I want to make it a really short answer, Jodie has the answers. There you are, 4 words. Your questions can be answered by Jodie.
Right. Thank you. I'll ask her.
I hope you do. I'm sure you will. And I'm sure she's looking forward to it.
I'm sure she is.
As the pupils head home, it's time for the parents to reflect on their observations.
Well, I don't know about you, but I found that both enjoyable and actually quite hard work, trying to figure out what's really going on in the class for the children, what's really making them tick and what's making them not tick. And I'd just like to ask you, I mean, what do you think? Is there anything you will do differently now, do you think?
I think I just would support Jodie a little bit more in the areas that she's not so keen on, i.e. her German, and just give her a bit more encouragement to pay attention perhaps in lessons that she's being a bit too over the top in.
And what about you, Tracy?
I don't think I'd change anything. It's just, if there was one thing, it'd be Aiyshah's confidence in the classroom and for Aiyshah to be more of herself, you know, and not hide it away so much.
Perhaps to reveal a bit more of herself in the classroom.
Yeah, be Aiyshah more in the classroom.
Be Aiyshah more in the classroom.
Yeah, definitely.
And you'd almost like Jodie to be a little bit less Jodie and a little bit more motivated in the classroom.
Maybe a little bit less theatrical. Yeah.
So we have 2 different balances here.
Yeah.
And actually you're part of the balance. Yeah. And I think the thing that I've learnt most about is this idea that parenting is a relationship. You know, you've done some very good things with your child and it's worked. Yeah. And you've done some things with your child and it's worked. But they're not the same things. No. And it's not just a matter of using the right recipe. Children need a different recipe depending on, well, they're the ingredients, I suppose, in the analogy. So, we've come to the end of our time. And parenting is a 24/7 job and we've all got children. So, I think it's time we made our way. I'm certainly ready for a nice cup of tea. I don't know about you. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.